This is me. This is also me. Just 14 years ago. I started playing football at the age of 6. After my first session, I was hooked. I ended up playing the game we all love almost every single day. All while playing for the same club. The club in my heart. Lyn. Until it all stopped a year ago. It was time to hang up the boots. I did get to play against current Barca player Rooney Bardagci though. I'm still an FM however. This is me. Well, a 16-year-old me. And yeah, I'm rubbish.
Oh, jeezy pips, man.
Today, however, we might get to do something about that. And live out my childhood dream. As I will become the agent for myself. Before starting, we need to figure out what my potential ability is actually gonna be. So these are the rules for the first season. If I get an average rating of 6 to 6.49, I get a base PA of 130. If I get an average rating of 6.5 to 6.99, I get a base PA of 140. And if I get an average rating of 7 or higher, I get a base PA of 150. Additionally, a certain number of goal contributions will get me another PA boost. And finally, any player of the match awards will give me plus 3 PA. We'll be starting off at Lyn. Of course, at Lyn 2 in the 3rd division, the 4th tier of Norwegian football. Now come on, let's see how I get on in the first and crucial season. So, a year has gone by, and Simon Aga Høyvik, or, myself, is now 17 years old. I've actually played in every single game this opening season, in which we also secured our place in the 3rd division. The big amounts of playing time has resulted in 3 goals and 2 assists, 1 player of the match award and a 6.78 average rating. That all means that I'll be bumping my potential ability up to 148. Now, I reckon we give myself at least 1 more season at Lyn to see if I develop massively, and maybe even break into the first team. The first team, by the way, have miraculously got promoted through the playoffs. That means I might just get my senior debut at the highest level possible in Norway. So let's jump another year ahead and see what happens. Well, that was bad. A very disappointing second season, as I picked up a hip injury early on in the season, which ruled me out for 3 months. I then struggled to find my form, meaning I didn't get my first team debut and only played 6 games all season. The first team did at least keep their place in Eliteserien. I, however, will be moving on loan to Eidsvold. They're a mid-table side in the 3rd tier, an hour outside of Oslo, so quite a local move for us, where I'll be one of the best players at the club and most likely playing in my favorite attacking midfielder position. So let's hope that I can steer clear of injuries and have a solid season to move up in the world. Lots of playing time was the goal while at Eidsvold, and I got just that. 24 out of 26 league games, and a decent season altogether, as I got an average rating of 6.83. I did kind of expect more, but it's an okay season. I'm a bit lost as to what's the best move for next season. I could stay at Lyn and probably get into the starting 11, but that would mean I'd play as a centre mid, and not an attacking mid. A loan to a 2nd tier side is probably the way to go to develop as much as possible, as Eidsvold almost got relegated to the 4th tier this season. As we're coming up to the start of the season, however, Lyn have hired a new manager, who prefers playing in a 4-2-3-1. And after checking the CA of my competitors here at Lyn, I think I'm gonna be playing loads actually. So I'm rolling the dice by staying at my boyhood club Lyn. Now let's see what happens. Rolling the dice was definitely the right choice. I've played every single game except 1, which was because of getting a red card early on in the season. It was another decent season for me personally, as I picked up 3 goals and a 6.67 average rating, while also improving a lot. I've now moved up to a current ability of 121, which means I'm starting to close in on my potential ability of 148. For my boyhood club Lyn, however, it was a season to forget. 25 points was just about not enough to stay up, and the capital city club is down to the 2nd tier once more. For me, that means I need to find a new club, as I'm way too good to be playing in the 2nd tier of Norway. I'm gonna have a look at moving abroad actually, as I think that could really help boost my development even more than staying in Norway. And so, I've moved myself to Go Ahead Eagles. Lyn have sold me for 2 million right at the end of the winter window. Go Ahead Eagles are currently 10th in the Eredivisie, and I should be in the starting 11 as an attacking mid. So let's first of all see how I do in the final few games of the season here in the Netherlands, before eventually moving on to the next season. After a nightmare start to my Go Ahead Eagles career with a red card against Ajax leading to a 1-0 loss, I've bounced back brilliantly. I've played 11 games in 4 months, in which I picked up 1 assist and a very nice 6.8 average rating. Let's quickly go through another season, which will be included in a Season 5 recap, and see how I do in my first full season abroad. My first full season at Go Ahead Eagles, I've improved slightly, while having another decent season, but nothing out of this world actually. I played 32 times and got 8 goal contributions, which is a big improvement on any season so far. A 6.89 average rating made it a season to remember, in which Go Ahead Eagles finished 8th. I've improved to 134 current ability, which is amongst the best at the entire club, so I'm looking to be an even more prominent figure in the next seasons. I've also got a new contract at the club until 2035, and as an important player. So now we're gonna move 2 years into the future to see if I can improve further, and if we can get some success here at Go Ahead Eagles. I'm actually back a year early, since I've had a rather brilliant season. I've once again played loads, and I've been one of the absolute top performers at the club. With 9 goal contributions in 31 games, as well as an average rating of 7.1, I've helped Go Ahead Eagles to a 4th place finish in European football. I've only just noticed this as well, by the way. I've played 11 times for the Norway under-21s and scored 4 times in those 11 games. So I can't be far from a first team call-up, surely. Thanks to that, bigger teams are starting to take note of me and my ability, which has now risen to 143. Nottingham Forest and Strasbourg are among the interested teams, and I might just make the move to the best league in the world this summer. I'm by no means a world-class player, but I'm definitely a part of the elite pool of players right now. And I think a move to a mid to lower table Premier League side would make sense. Since I'm only 23 years old as well, I still have room to develop further, even if it's only 5 PA points on paper. Well then, I'll see you at the end of the window to see where I make my move. It's actually not the end of the window yet, as I've noticed that I've become unhappy at Go Ahead Eagles, due to wanting to move to a club with a stronger squad. Well, let's get on that then. It was a simple decision in the end, and the choice is Sunderland. A big 9.5 million move to Premier League side Sunderland. They expressed quite a bit of interest in me, including from manager Kieran McKenna, and it's a club I'll be a regular starter, as I check the CA of my main competition in the squad. It should be a good move for me, and hopefully it can get me into the Norway squad sometime soon as well. And of course, the main thing, I'm realizing every kid's childhood dream of playing in the Premier League. We're now gonna move 3 years into the future to see what I've been able to do in the biggest league in the world. Hopefully we come back to me playing regularly for both Sunderland and the Norwegian national team. That's exactly what we've come back to. I've actually been playing almost every single game the past 3 years. My debut campaign at Sunderland was a pretty good one, as I scored 10 times and assisted 4 in 35 games. I was quite an inconsistent performer though, recording only a 6.73 average rating. And as for Sunderland, the club ended up finishing 14th in their second season back in the Prem. The second year was another good campaign. Only half the goals I got in my debut campaign, but I got double the amount of assists to make up for it, while also getting a higher average rating. The Black Cats, however, only improved by 1 position, moving up to 13th. That may have been because of a change in management, with Kieran McKenna moving to Atalanta and bloody Duvan Zapata taking over. Zapata! Anyway, before the 3rd season at Sunderland, I managed to make my debut for the Norwegian national team. Manager Ståle Solbakken called me up. and I got my debut in a friendly game against Chile. Since then, I've racked up another 6 caps, meaning I'm starting to cement my place in the 23-man squad, only a year before the World Cup. I seem to gain confidence from that, as I delivered my best season in my career so far. I got the same amount of goals as last year, while also picking up 1 more assist. But the biggest improvement was clearly how consistently good I was. I got an average rating of 7.1 in the Premier League. Over these 3 years, I've also improved to a current ability of 145, meaning I've basically capped out my potential. This magnificent 3rd season at Sunderland was even capped off with a 5th place finish. That means I'll realize another childhood dream next season, as I'll be making my UEFA Champions League debut. That season meant only one thing for my World Cup fate, as I got called up to the biggest tournament in the world. Maybe my performances can even attract some interest from even bigger clubs. Who knows? Well, the short answer is no. We got knocked out in a round of 16 by Slovenia of all teams, as Benjamin Šeško was too strong for us. For me, it was an average tournament. I played in all but 1 game, mostly coming off the bench, but also getting our only goal against aforementioned Slovenia. As the World Cup didn't attract any new interest, I think the smart move is to stay at Sunderland for the time being, especially now that we've got UCL football coming up. So let's move another 2 years into the future, to the point at which I'll be 28 years of age, to see if one final big move is on the cards. 2 more years has come and gone, and I'm officially old in FM terms. 28 years of age, still at Sunderland in the Prem. I've actually kept performing to a similar level to where I left off, but Sunderland have not. Since that 5th place finish 2 years ago, we finished 12th and then 14th. We did make it to the knockout playoffs in the UCL though, but lost 2-0 to Lille ultimately. For me, however, it's been 2 average seasons, with similar goal contribution numbers to my previous seasons, but a lower average rating. I have now improved to fulfill my full potential of 148 though, so that's pretty impressive. Because of that, I'm still highly valued. So one big final transfer might just be the move to make. Therefore, I'm only gonna move to the club I support. Chelsea. A huge move, as they've paid £42.5 million for me, and I'm not even guaranteed to be a starter. It's a bold move from me, as I'll be competing with Cole Palmer and a new arrival alongside me in Pablo Bernard. Now, let's jump 3 years into the future, to the end of the 2038-39 season, and see if I can get my opportunity at my dream club. As it turns out, the move to Chelsea was the biggest mistake of my career. I got loaned straight out to Nantes in Ligue 1, where I, to be fair, had a great season. But what followed was disastrous. Chelsea somehow managed to get relegated the season I was out on loan, so I had to play in the Championship in the 2037-38 season. I performed pretty bad honestly, but we at least bounced straight back up to the Prem. But now I've been loaned out to bloody Hull, and I'm apparently joining them permanently this summer. What makes this so much worse though, is Sunderland's recovery since I left. They got a 7th place finish the year I was at Nantes, a 2nd place finish the following season, and finally a 4th place finish this last season. It's such unlucky timing. Well, nonetheless, I'm now 31 years old and approaching the final few years of my career. So I think we'll simply move 5 years into the future to see if I've retired or not, and if not, where I'm playing my football. We're now in 2044, and I've had an interesting few years to say the least. I only played 1 season at Hull after going there permanently, in which I performed pretty well, before being sold to Aston Villa. There I played sporadically, quite a bit off the bench, for 2 seasons. And finally I did like every wise old man would do. I went to Saudi. I signed for Al-Shabaab on a free, played there for 2 seasons while earning fat stacks, and I have now decided to retire. Before my retirement is set in stone, however, we have the Euros. My first ever time playing at the European Championship is just days before I retire. Imagine if I could end my career with a trophy. Well, that wasn't how I imagined it going. I played all 3 group stage games, but I, like the rest of the Norway squad, performed horribly. So we got last place in our group, behind Romania, Switzerland and Ukraine. So now my career is about to come to a close. I've had a rather brilliant career in my eyes. It took some time to build my career up, as I spent 4 years in Norway and 3 years in the Netherlands, before finally moving to the Premier League. After 5 seasons at Sunderland, with varying success, my career took a wrong turn. All because of me, honestly. The move to Chelsea was a disaster, and my career from there was a slow but steady decline in ability. However, I can look back on 548 senior appearances, 79 goals and 75 assists. That's not too bad for a midfielder. As if that wasn't enough, I've also made 81 first-team national team appearances for Norway, picking up 13 goals in the process. I've played in 2 World Cups and made countless contributions to the Norwegian national team. I might not have won any trophies in my time as a professional footballer, but I've played consistently at the highest level possible, which, all in all, I think is a huge success. I can certainly say I became better than in real life.
Are you sure about that?